and thank you for joining us for today's video.
We hope everyone is safe, happy, and healthy as can be.
Today you'll be learning about various interesting rice facts and the importance of rice throughout history.
We're so excited to explore various recipes from around the world with you today.
Where was rice first grown? Where is rice grown? Besides as food, what else is rice used for? We'll be answering these questions throughout this video, so be on the lookout for some rice facts. Now, let's start cooking.
There's so many options out there, like mango sticky rice, kimbap, spring rolls, and spam musubi.
If you try this at home, please do this with adult supervision. Your safety comes first, so please be careful with the cooking tools, the heat in the stovetop, and the knives. Also, do not try the following stunts at home. Rice is to eat, not to play with. Never hold your knife like this. Protect your fingers and make sure they are behind the knife. And, as always, wash your hands before and after handling each type of ingredient, like vegetables, meat, spices, and rice. Now, let's get started and have some delicious fun.
Thank you for the bowl of rice. Hi, I'm Kendra. I go to USC, and my favorite dessert is boba milk tea. One of my favorite rice dishes is mango sticky rice, which is what I'm going to be showing you guys how to make today. And it all starts with a bowl of rice.
For your ingredients, you're going to need sweet rice, coconut cream, sugar, mangoes, salt, and this is optional, but sesame seeds. Now on to making the sauce. You're going to heat up some coconut cream, a little bit of salt, and sugar to taste. It's pretty easy. Now to assemble your dish, you're just going to have your cooked rice, add some mango slices, pour the coconut sauce over the rice, and this part is optional once again, but add your sesame seeds. Ta-da!
And that's our mango sticky rice. So mango sticky rice is traditionally a Thai dessert, but it's now eaten all across Southeast Asia in places like Vietnam, Cambodia, and India. And the best time to eat this is during mango season, which is about early March to late July. Fun fact, so the rice that we use to make mango sticky rice is also known as glutinous rice, but contrary to the name, it actually doesn't contain any gluten. Surprising, right? Well, that's sweet wrap. I had a great time cooking mango sticky rice with you guys. Now let's see what Caitlin's cooking up.
Caught it. Thanks, Kendra. Hi, I'm Caitlin. I go to USC, and my favorite dessert is ice cream. One of my favorite rice dishes is mini kimbap rolls, which we'll be making today, and it all starts with a bowl of rice.
First, you're going to need a bowl of rice. An optional step is to add a little bit of sesame oil. The oil is going to add a little bit more flavor and make the rice very soft. So you are going to spend a few seconds mixing that in. You're going to put the rice aside, grab a cutting board, and grab some seaweed. Then you're going to add a small scoop of rice and spread it around the seaweed. You don't need to cover it entirely, but just make sure it's a little bit spread out. Then you're going to add in some other ingredients. So for mine, I added some sauteed carrots. You can sprinkle a little salt on them as well. And then I added some fried egg. And then I added some pickled daikon, which is just a yellow radish. Now for the fun part, we get to roll it all up. It might end up being a little bit poofy, but that's okay. Then after a few more times of doing that, you will have a few rolls. Then grab a nice plate and then start putting the rolls on. Another step is you can add your favorite sauce. I added some chipotle sauce here. And there you go. You have your mini kimbap rolls.
Rice is very popular to eat in Korea, and kimbap is one of the very simple dishes that you can make using rice. Kimbap is a Korean-styled version of the typical Japanese rice sushis that you will see at various restaurants, and kimbap can come in many different types depending on what you put in it. So today we made mainly a vegetable type of kimbap where you put carrots, radishes, egg, and you can even put some green onions in it. There are other types with spicy tuna, sausage, and spam. and it's a very popular dish with little kids and also adults trying to relive their childhood. So thanks for catching up with me over some kimbap, and now we will see what Elizabeth is wrapping.
Thanks, Caitlin. All right, got it. Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I go to USC, and my favorite dessert is sweet, crunchy fruit. So today I'll be cooking goikun, also popularized in American English as spring rolls. And it all starts with a bowl of rice. Rice fact. Did you know that cultures value rice so much that in their language there's two different words to define rice, one as the grain and the other as the cooked rice? In Mandarin, it's mei and fan, but then in Cantonese, it's mai and fan, and in Japanese, it's kome and gohan, and in Vietnamese, it's gao and cơm. The more you know.
So, because this recipe is so easy, you don't really need a recipe. Of course, there is one in the description. You'll need some pork loin or steak. Pork is traditionally used. Here are some eggs I've already scrambled, and some Chinese sausage. Here are some peeled and deveined shrimp, washed lettuce, and cucumber. Lastly, you'll need some vermicelli rice noodles and circular rice paper. I love and trust the Three Ladies brand. For the pork and shrimp, separately boil them until cooked through. The pork cooking time varies by thickness and size, so about 20 to 40 minutes, while the shrimp should become slightly stiffer and opaque from their soft translucent stage, 1 to 3 minutes. Once the pork cools down, carefully cut it into thin strips. For the Chinese sausage, cut it into thin strips and then pan fry them until warmed and slightly crispy. Using the same oil or a little vegetable oil, cook the egg into an omelet. Season it with salt and pepper. Similarly, cut the egg into thin strips once cooled enough to handle. Cut the cucumber into strips as well. You can cut it into thirds and then cut it in half. Then, lay the flat surface on the board so you can cut it easily. To make the roll, you need hot water. We've boiled enough, so it's time for the microwave. Get a microwave-safe bowl and add some water and carefully place it inside. Microwave for 2 minutes until the water is just warm to the touch. Then, place your noodles into boiling water and cook as instructed. Lastly, the dipping sauce. We are making 2 variations, one spicy and one savory. The base is always hoisin sauce, so we'll start and add some here and here. Next, we'll add some spicy and garlicky sriracha. And in this one, we'll add a little bit of peanut butter. Mix and dip. Here's all of the ingredients, and now we assemble. There's no right way, but I'm going to make it my way. You can make it pretty too, but it all tastes pretty great. First, we dip the rice paper in the hot water, rotate it around, shake it, and we place it on our plate. Then we add the lettuce, some noodles, and then our shrimp, some cucumber, our egg, Chinese sausage, and our pork. Let's roll! You can tuck in the sides, but I won't. Ta-da!
And that's the dish. So most scholars claim that goikun originated originally from China. However, there's an alternative origin story where King Wenhui, he invented the nutritious yet very light and able to serve cold dish in order to get to enemy battle lines before the enemies predicted. But who knows? And so, lastly but not leastly, we'll go to Youngyu for a savory treat.
Whoops, almost dropped it there. Thanks, Elizabeth. Hi everyone, I'm Youngyu and I'm a student at the University of Southern California. Having grown up in Hawaii, one of my favorite dishes is spam musubi, which I will be showing you how to make today. And it all starts with a bowl of rice.
Spam musubis are really easy to make. All you need is some rice, some spam, nori, and seaweed. Today I'll be switching it up a little bit. Instead of nori, I'll be using this yummy seaweed stock to make mini versions of spam musubis. I also have a musubi mold, but this is completely optional. You can always just use your hands.
We already have our bowl of cooked rice here, so the next step is to cut the spam into slices and fry it for a few minutes on both sides until it's a little browned. Please be careful when you're using the stove and be sure to ask an adult to help you with this step. Once our spam is cooked, we're going to put it on the side really quickly and grab our rice and musubi mold. Be sure to put the mold on a clean, flat surface. Here I put down some cling wrap. Now we're going to spoon some rice into the mold. And at this step, the amount of rice you put depends on your personal preference. Just be sure that there's enough rice to make a good layer so your musubi doesn't fall apart. Then we're going to take this press just like this and pack the rice tightly together. This step is really important because we don't want our rice to fall apart. After that, we're going to carefully lift the mold while pressing down gently to remove the rice from the mold like so. If you're shaping this by hand, make sure that your rice patty stays together and keeps its shape. Once your rice is nicely packed, we're going to take a slice of the Spam you fried up earlier and put it on top of the rice. Then we have to cut this into thirds using a knife. It's super important that you have an adult help you with this step so you don't get hurt. And lastly, we're going to take one sheet of the seaweed and wrap it around like this. Because the seaweed sheets are small, they won't wrap around completely, but it will still work to hold everything together. And there we have it, mini Spam musubis. I hope you all enjoyed this. Spam musubis were invented by a Japanese American during World War II, and since then has become a local favorite here in Hawaii. In fact, Hawaii eats about 7 million cans of Spam each year, and much of it is due to Spam musubis. I grew up eating Spam musubis, and it was one of the first dishes that I learned how to make on my own. I hope you all come to love Spam musubis as much as I do.
Recipes are in the description below if you would like to try to recreate our dishes from today, or just go with the flow and see if you can experiment with your food with different seasonings.
Yes, and we hope that some of the knowledge that you learned today has become ingrained in your head.
Feel free to try it out and tag us at USC.AATP on Instagram. We'll feature your post if you do. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
And as always, fight on!
Fight on!